Hey bud, how are you doing? Happy Friday. A little bit of a late recording here for us, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna get through.
I was going to say our listeners just have to be waiting with bated breath on this episode. It will still come out on a Friday. It'll just be a little evening podcast for everyone.
A little nightcap for you. I mean, have it with a cocktail. That would be glorious and lovely. We are pushing into my bedtime a little bit, because we're recording a little bit later in the evening. So,
And like I do still have entirely a full day ahead of me. Like my day has not begun. It's
yeah.
4 p.m. where I am.
Do you have any fun plans for your evening?
Well, I'm excited because my cousins that don't live here, full time, they like grew up here and then moved away for college and have since all kind of are scattered. But they're back in town for a little bit, so I think we're gonna go hang with them. They said something about like a daiquiri cart somewhere. So I don't know if it's like a food truck cart or I don't know. I'm excited.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Um, you shared this as your hyperfixation recently about a frozen margarita, and I was out with my family yesterday, and the only thing I wanted was like a frozen beverage. Like I didn't really care what it was, but I was like, I want something that's frozen and I want it to like taste like a slushy, but also have alcohol in it. And I saw they had blenders like at the place we were at. The only thing that was on the menu was a mudslide. Not my particular favorite, but I was like, any chance you could make me a pina colada? And they did, and it was amazing.
Good on you for asking. I don't know if I mentioned this the last time on the podcast, but I have not perfected, but I have figured out a really, really, really good frozen margarita recipe. So we may need to recreate that when we're together this summer because I'm
Are you
very proud.
using a blender?
Yeah, I'm using a blender and like an ungodly amount of ice,
Yeah, you
like
use a lot.
so much ice to the point where like you look at the amount of alcohol you're putting in it and you're like, oh, this is a lot. But also, it makes like an insane amount of servings because of the sheer amount of ice that
Yeah.
I'm using.
So then for my family wanted to get a second round of drinks and like I'm not like the biggest drinker. Like I like a fun drink, but I'm not, the biggest drinker, you know that. And so for my second drink, I just got a Shirley Temple. Like underrated is a Shirley Temple.
I feel like I don't know if
Without
that'll ever make a weekly hyperfixation for you, but I feel like that's kind of like your life hyperfixation.
is Shirley Temples.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really just like the cherry. And it's funny because when I was like younger, I was kind of a little bit scared of maraschino cherries. Like I don't know, they just kind of freaked me out like in the liquid. And just like as an adult, I've now like grown to love them. And Shirley Temples are definitely a little bit of a hyperfixation for me. So I got one at this beach bar. It was delicious. Also, something that was wild is my older brother Jacob ordered an espresso martini. Actually, both my brothers ordered espresso martinis. Jacob asked for it to be made with tequila.
I have heard of this and like I'm not about it.
Like, what? I am not big into like understanding what goes in what drinks, but I know for a fact tequila doesn't go in an espresso martini.
I also like along with people putting crazy types of alcohol into drinks that they maybe shouldn't be in. My aunts, I don't know if they discovered this in Ireland or when they got back, but putting Jameson, Irish whiskey in a margarita, like a
Oh,
Jameson margarita instead of tequila, which is insane.
that is pretty insane.
The Shirley Temple also reminded me that this weekend I was out with some of my friends and I was on my trip, and one of them, none of us also are like we're really boozing, but one of my friends doesn't drink, and we were talking about mocktails, and she was like, "I love a good mocktail, but like, why am I paying $17 for a glass of juice, basically?" And I
Yeah.
was like, "Unfortunately, I am their target audience because like." I understand it's ridiculous, and yet I will always pay the $17 for a mocktail.
Yeah.
Like when I was like my spring break fell during Lent and I gave up alcohol this Lent, which I highly recommend. It was a good little like cleanse. And so I was like out for spring break and got many mocktails. I probably honestly spent more money than I would have had I just like drank alcohol.
Okay. Um, love that for you. I also think like just straight up like we need to just admit that juice is underrated. Like I used to have juice every morning for with my breakfast when I was like a child, and I no longer spend my money on juice, but like when I come home to my parents, they still buy juice, and like it is a beautiful, lovely treat. I love juice.
Yeah, my parents also are single-handedly keeping the orange juice business in business. Like they are we also have been made fun of because when we will go out for breakfast, it's like every individual has to have 3 drinks. Like we probably spend $30 on drinks because everyone is getting a water, an orange juice, and a coffee or hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's ideal.
So
Love
maybe it's
juice.
just ingrained in me. I feel like some people they don't like to spend money on any type of beverage, and I'm just like, you know what? There are other things I don't spend my money on so that I can spend all my money on beverages out in the world.
Yeah, I don't really want to get into this right now because it's part of my wellness check, but just stay tuned because I do have a financial wellness check I'll have to update the listeners on this week. That is really putting a damper on my mood. But regardless of that, another exciting thing happening right now, or it ends tonight, is Prime Day. Have you stocked up on anything?
I haven't honestly because I don't even know. I feel like I get overwhelmed by Prime Day because Amazon has literally everything.
Mm.
I don't even know where to begin.
See, I just like I knew Prime Day was coming and I'm at my parents' house and I knew I just was like not gonna bring all of my like half bottles of like beauty stuff to my parents' house and also knew I was gonna need like stuff for travel. So I just stocked up on like beauty stuff. That was kind of my like one thing I got what for Prime Day because we're gonna need some for a big trip. We have to look beautiful several out of the days of our big trip. Um,
Yeah,
our
I
both
need
hair and skin will be, fried and scrubbed clean. Um, but for the best, we'll get some good pictures. But I got all the essentials, so we're ready.
it also I don't remember these being the same week last year, but it's also Target Circle Week.
Oh, it
Um,
is? I didn't know
I'm a
that.
big Target gal. Literally was just there like an hour ago. So
I love that. And you know where my parents live on Cape Cod here, we have one mall Target and it literally sucks. One of my favorite topics, if there's ever a lull in conversation is to get my mom and her friend Betty and get going, is if I bring up the Cape Cod Target because the things they have to say about this Target, you would think that they like have I don't even know, like a warrant for them. They hate the Target, yet they're always there. I had to go with my mom this week. So I there is not currently an adequate Target near me, but if there was, I probably would be there. But I guess there's always online.
I was gonna say there might be some online deals. I understand that to an extent because the town where I grew up, it was like a smaller town. And we had a Target, but for some reason this Target did not have a grocery section. Like
Mm.
all they had was like shelf stable items, if that made sense. Like they didn't have a produce section, they didn't have meat, cheese, any of
Oh,
that. They might have had like frozen pizzas and stuff. It was so bizarre. And I am not even kidding you. At one point in my life, I had a dream, an actual dream that the Target where I'm from opened up a grocery section. That's like how much it kind of
it
was
impacted
on my
you?
mind. Because I feel like I didn't realize it until I went to Target's other places and I was like, what do you mean every single other Target has a grocery section? Now, it's not the best in the world. I
No.
will say that. But in a pinch, it's something.
Unless you go to a super Target. Have you ever been to a super Target?
Okay, I actually haven't, but isn't there one in Omaha, like out
Yeah,
near
there's several
Lynn?
in Omaha,
I feel like
and they're amazing.
we passed it on the way to beach volleyball. We never went, but I always saw
Oh,
it in the distance. Yeah, we drove by that one.
that one actually is not the best super Target that I'm thinking of, but there's another one out west or there's a few out west that are glorious. Um, and it's funny because every time my mom comes to visit, like she wants to go to the super Target, which is just like funny because that's what's in Omaha. But alas,
You
that's
gotta
what's
always have your I feel like I get that way about Fred Meyer. Like they had a Fred Meyer where I went to college and it's only in like the Pacific Northwest. I think like Minnesota has them. But Fred Meyer is like the elite like I don't know why every Kroger doesn't just like shut down every other store that they have and only open Fred Meyer's. Um and so when I go places that have a Fred Meyer, I'm like so excited.
That's like Publix. Like in Florida, Publix is amazing. I don't know if you've ever been. Have you ever been to Florida?
I've never been to Florida. That's like a yeah. That's actually I used to be very proud of that fact that I've never been to Florida. Now I'm like meh about it. I could go to Florida. I'm
Yeah,
unbothered.
that's kind of crazy that you haven't been to Florida.
Well, I was thinking about this. This is like a really weird comment to make, but I was like, after this summer in our, like trip to Maine, I mean, I guess we're not going to like the tippy top east part of Maine, but I was like, oh, I've been to like San Diego, which is, kind of like the bottom west corner of the US. I've been to Seattle. I will have been to Maine. Now I just need to go to Miami and I'll have hit all four corners of the US.
Oh, so should we go to Miami?
You know,
My
sure,
parents loved it. They went a few years ago and loved it. They had this one hotel that they were like obsessed with.
I can get in touch with my Cuban heritage in Miami.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I also think it's just kind of funny. I feel like this is like life in your 20s where you just like start talking to your friend about like which grocery store you like, and you're like, oh, wait, that's like what point of life we're at right now.
It's funny because what were we talking about? Maybe it was like health insurance, or we were talking about something on this trip. And these are my two friends from high school. And I was just like laughing to myself because I was like, this is just funny now that we're all like in our 20s and older. And like, this is what we're talking about. And we like grew up together and used to talk about like, I don't know, whatever you talk about when you're in high school.
Well, yeah, it's funny because like when Teresa and I met, we met in grad school where we were living on campus, and like our main topic of conversation every day was like what we would get from the dining hall, and like to think of how we've grown from that, which like I think in the moment we resented the dining hall. I think maybe.
I would like to say this. I actually never resented the dining hall
Okay.
because it was 100% free, and it was Creighton's dining hall was way better than my alma mater's dining hall, even though it was the same like food company.
Yeah, it was great. And dining hall was good. Like it was good.
I don't know
But
if it was better because it was 100% free, but
yeah, I don't know. But then like I went back recently and I was like, wait, this is amazing. I didn't have to clean the dishes. I didn't have to make any of the food. Everything was right there. Like the only thing I literally had to do was cut up my food, which like honestly, if I asked them there, they probably would have done it for me.
I also forget that like I mean you are still gluten free, but like Tom also was gluten free
Mm.
during that one summer. And I just remember the night when like the dining hall was so good. And I think Meg and I individually got like four plates each of food. And you and Tom just had like your plate of jambalaya, as we said, because
Our jambalaya,
it was
and
gluten
remember
free.
those cookies? There were these gluten-free cookies that Tom and I would get like after every meal. And one time Tom like decided to eat like an obscene amount, like 6 packages of the cookies, and then his tummy hurt.
Well, and the fries, they always had
Oh,
fries. I
they
feel like
always had fries. The
that's
fries were good.
but mostly it was the weekend brunch. Like
That
there, I think if I could go back, this is so dramatic. Top five singular moments of my life that I would go back to would be a weekend brunch in the Crane Dining Hall over the summer. And it was just like I feel like just it was amazing. The stories told,
the stories told
food
in
to
that
be
great dining.
had. Yeah.
The best time was also when we were there in the summer. There wasn't obviously like a lot of other people that were there in the summer, like certain people, but whatever. There was a program for Jesuits, like a spirituality program.
Mhm.
And every summer they would go on a silent retreat, like a at Cretan, but they had to be silent in the dining hall. And our first summer we didn't like know that. And they were very friendly. Like before we would always talk with them, we'd always chat in line, whatever. And we were just like chatting with them, like not knowing they're on a silent retreat. And the next day we showed up and there's like signs everywhere that's like, please don't talk to the seminarians.
Whoops. No, the worst part though, I must have blocked this out of my mind, was they did orientation over the
Oh,
summer.
yeah.
Oh, and the lunch days on orientation days, that was like you were fighting a battle.
You were fighting a battle,
The
but it was so
cafeteria.
good.
It was worth it, but it was a battle.
Or the Herbs and Gerbs. What was that place actually called?
I looked this up because I literally was describing it to someone the other day and I was calling it herbs and gerbs and they looked at me like I was having a stroke. They were like, "What is it called?" It's literally called Herberts and Gerberts.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But
But
herbs
yeah,
and herbs.
they made a good sandwich.
I just remember when we had our little like I don't know why we couldn't talk about this publicly. I guess like it's been when we had our like mini COVID outbreak,
Oh
and
yeah.
I went to Herbs and Gerbs with 4 people's student IDs because they were in quarantine and I needed to bring them back food.
Um, Also, do you remember that little store that was like outside of Urban and Gerbs where we would get snacks?
Yeah, that place was
It
great.
was just so good. We had way too much free time for
Stocked up. Yeah,
intense. Yeah.
good
Uh,
times.
Good times. Miss it. Miss it, miss it, miss it. But glad we'll have our summer adventure as we always do. I feel like the past since we graduated, we've had some type of summer adventure to kind of keep us going. So we did cake
I was
and
gonna say, what did we do the summer
we
before?
went to Omaha. We went to College World
Right,
Center.
we did go to College Roads. I was gonna say the summer before we graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm excited. It's you said this too because it's funny that like I we both are like we just want our summer adventures to begin, but then also it's like I mean, it's going to be a very long chunk of time. It's going to be like 3
3
weeks.
weeks.
But when it ends, that's the end of summer.
That's the end.
I don't want to wish away summer, especially now because this is like the longest chunk of time. I like officially decided today I'm staying home for the 4th of July, which will be good, but like this is the longest chunk of time that I'm staying where I live. So I'm kind of trying to, I feel like, get all my ducks in a row.
Yeah, because I mean, you literally land and go to school that same day.
Yeah, not with the children. I just want everyone to know
Yeah.
I would die. It's like work week. I also went, I want to like, I need to do some more organizing around my classroom, but I did go because it was, I left the end of school and was like, I am just literally left such a disaster in my classroom. I went and like at least cleaned it out.
Good.
So it's not ideal, but like I could start a school year in that classroom now. I could not have started it in the way I left it on the last day of school.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I feel like I got this is like a big jump scare. I got an email from my principal this week that said midsummer update.
Whoa, whoa, why are we doing that?
I was
No.
like, what? It's midsummer and also don't email me. Um, which was kind of crazy. And so like I feel like this happens every summer where you like have these big fun awesome plans, but then it's like also like we said, rest is productive
Mhm.
and summer is like about time for rest and seeing your buds and doing all that stuff. And it is really a short amount of time, but I feel like we're maximizing our time this summer. So
I think it's good. I think there's a good balance. I also think like I mean, you are working, so maybe you can speak a little bit to this. I am like fortunate enough that my school does pay me over the summer, and so I
mine
don't
does, yeah.
have to work. And I'm very grateful for that because
And I want to emphasize that working is a very loose term for what I do. Although
it's true.
today was a very busy day. For anyone wondering, I sell like beach stickers, beach passes, in the town that I'm in for you to be able to go to the beach. And the first day that they're checking, like right now, if you were to go to the beach, they're not like checking. The first day they check is tomorrow. Um, so today was a big day in the beach sticker office because everyone was getting their last minute stickers and it was wild. So we had a line all day. So it was a pretty busy day at work.
Wow. Look at you, a working girl.
A working girl, yeah. All right, what do you think? Should we get into it?
I think it's time to get into it. Get into our wellness check where we check on our wellness.
Check on our wellness. I think I went first last time. So, Teresa, do you need a wellness check? And if so, what is it?
I need a wellness check, and this first one is this is gonna be like so lame that I can't nail down a category, but it is like a physical, mental, financial. I'm putting it in those 3 realms, and it will be
Okay.
clear when I explain. So I'm going through a phase where I feel like I hate every item of clothing that I own, which
Mhm.
I have told you a couple of times. And I feel like, first off, this is a case for most people, but your mid to late 20s is kind of like style crisis time because you're not in college anymore. Now you need like a professional wardrobe, but you also want to look like classier and nicer even when you're not at work. And I'm struggling with this. I feel like it's a balance because I want to look nice at work. Like, I want to actually look like a woman and not like a gray or black amorphous blob, which is I feel like what I kind of like tend to. Um, but I feel like finding a balance of something that is like actually cute and like not like college young, but young adult, um, but then also isn't like inappropriate for work. You can't find it, and if you do find it, it is like $300 for a shirt. Which brings me to my next part of this dilemma, which is that I feel like going through a style crisis, like I don't have the money to be going through a style crisis. And I've heard the advice a lot of times like, oh, you should, spend money on good quality pieces, like spend more money on less good quality pieces than just like buying a bunch of cheap stuff. But my problem is, and I don't know if anyone else has this problem, when I try something on in the store, I can't tell if I like it or not. 75% of the clothes I buy, I end up returning because I have to take them home. I have to try them on in my own space. I have to try them on with maybe like clothes that I already own to like actually figure out if I like it. And so I feel like investing money in like good pieces is hard because sometimes I'm like, oh, I really like this thing. And then I end up hating it immediately after. I don't know. Maybe I should do like a clothing rental service, but that's
I
my.
recently did a clothing rental service
You
and
did.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes, I had like a million bridal showers and like different things in the spring, and I just was like, I don't know what I want to wear. So a few of them had like a specific, vibe that they were asking for that I didn't necessarily own, and I don't know. I also am a little bit limited by the stores that I have where I am in Omaha. There's not like a ton of stores. Um, and so I tried Newly because they had a teacher appreciation discount code. And
Mhm.
I thoroughly enjoyed my experience. Now I didn't do it again, not because I didn't like it, but because I was like, I'm like going to like sit on my couch for the next like 6 weeks. Maybe I'll do it for our summer adventure, unsure. But I did enjoy that. I also feel the same way with your thoughts on fashion. I think I'm in a little bit of a different place because I'm in an elementary school where like I can like kind of dress like a toddler a little bit and it doesn't necessarily like really matter. It is a little bit interesting when like some of like the middle schoolers like have the same like sweater as me. Like they're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
did you get your Aerie? And I was like, oh shit, can I not just strap at Aerie anymore? Um, but it's a dilemma. I also feel weird spending money on clothes that like I cannot multi-use. Like I either need to
Yes.
be
Yes, I agree
like
100%.
I either need to be able to like work out in it and lounge on my couch in it, or I need to like wear it on the town and go to work in it. And like everything has to intermingle. It needs two purposes. Like one item of clothing cannot just serve one purpose unless it's like a basic. So I feel that. I mean, my go-to is just like a dress with a jeans jacket, a dress with a sweater, all of the above there. But I think fashion in your or your mid to late 20s is very hard. I agree.
Yeah, I 100% agree about the multi-purpose thing, and I feel like now I am actually in the spot maybe it's just like I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to get multi-use nice pieces because the first school I worked at, you basically had to wear it was more than business casual. It wasn't quite fully business professional, but basically. And so, like, there was no way that I was like I had to have a work wardrobe and a life wardrobe. Like, there was no way to cross over. Now I'm like, there is a world in which I could have some crossover. Like, it's a little bit more casual at work, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's also hard because like we don't have jobs where we need to like be in professional like outfits. Like we don't need to be wearing a blazer. We don't need to be wearing like necessarily dress pants every day. And like business casual, I feel like is just not as a defined um like fashion sense as it used to be. Like business casual is like so loosey goosey almost, and almost a little bit. I don't know. Sometimes it's too casual. Sometimes it's not. It's not defined.
I also think it's hard because we don't have to be wearing like business professional, but we also do have to wear like if you work from home, I guess maybe you have to have, clothes if you go to conferences or like you're occasionally in the office or whatever. But it's like if we work from home, our wardrobe could just be what our wardrobe is. It wouldn't matter. But for me, I'm like, I still have to look a certain way at work that I don't necessarily want to look like in my personal life. Maybe this is also a professional wellness check. I don't know. This is just like all dimensions of life. But um I also, it's funny because I was talking to my two friends again that I went to grade school and high school with, and we were talking about like the impact of having a uniform. And my one friend was like, I wore a uniform for 12 years and I feel like I still really struggle with having a style. And I never thought about it, but I was like, because I don't think that it has super impacted me, but like maybe it has. I don't know. People that got to wear whatever they want to school weigh in.
But I
Has
also feel like I knew people that like I also wore a uniform my whole life, but then I feel like I would see kids that went to like the public school and they were like literally like wearing pajamas like to school.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, and I guess like your style from high school to adulthood is going to change. Anyways, I don't know. I would love to have a work uniform. Like
Me
literally,
too.
I could never I could not hack it as a nurse. Like I have many nurse friends. Shout out to them because like I couldn't do it. The one thing, honestly, that would get me to be a nurse is getting to wear scrubs every day. Like that is a ridiculous statement, but
Well, I saw there's like some school districts that are switching to like teachers wearing scrubs and like I think like daycare teachers for sure should wear scrubs, like preschool teachers
oh,
like
1000%. If you're working with kids, absolutely.
and I even think like my job like a sped teacher, I feel like I could get away with wearing scrubs.
Well, you guys literally, I know this doesn't necessarily come across in like your line of work always, but it's like you guys are like you're chasing after kids. Like you're
Yeah.
I was like, you gotta be in like athletic wear almost. So
And I'm lucky that like my school's like pretty chill. My principal is pretty chill and has always been like, I mean, wear what's like comfortable for your job. Like I will let you know if I feel as if you're being unprofessional, but I wear tennis shoes every day because I'm doing a lot of walking. But yeah.
I also wear sneakers a lot. I feel like that was the hardest thing. The school I mentioned that I was at, that you had to wear basically like business professional. I would always tell everyone, I'm like, I don't really mind the clothing part of it. Like, I don't mind looking nice and put together. I like getting, ready for work in the morning. That part is fine. The shoes were the worst part. I was like, I want to wear all of this and then wear sneakers. Like, we're on our feet all day. It's just not comfortable.
Yeah.
So,
I feel you. And
anyway,
I don't have any answers to your issues.
that's
Sorry.
okay. That's okay. This is kind of an ongoing, I don't know. We may get an update.
We'll do a circle back.
We'll do a circle back. So thanks for listening.
Nice.
All right. What's your first wellness check for this
My
week?
first wellness check is financial. It's a financial wellness check. As I mentioned, I am staying here with my parents who have a wonderful, lovely, beautiful home, and I'm so lucky I get to spend the summer with them and enjoy all of the benefits of their home, one of which is a pool. I do love the pool. It was on my Christmas list every year since I was 5 years old to have a pool at our house. The year I move out of my parents' house, they do put in a pool.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't know it was that year. That's
was
brutal.
literally that year. And so I thoroughly enjoy their pool. Now, my parents also, in their empty nesters age, have gotten a dog, Grim, who is a Bernedoodle, who is their pride and joy. Grim can do no wrong.
Hmm.
Grim gets a little wild when he goes in the pool. He loves to swim, but he gets a little wild when he goes in the pool because he's so excited. Now, I was going in the pool the other day and I had my towel and my phone on the side of the pool because I was going to listen to like a podcast or an audiobook like while I was out there. Pretty typical for my afternoon routine. When my mom brought Grim out and he immediately ran over and grabbed my phone in his mouth and took a big chomp out of it. So Grim's tooth went straight through the phone. And at first I thought the screen was just shattered and I could get a new screen or kind of work around it for a little bit. No, it completely just has stopped working. So, and I got this phone like maybe 18 months ago. So like not old. So I go to Verizon to see what they can do. And they were like literally nothing. Like you can go see if you can get the screen replaced. So into two different screen replacement places that were going to charge me $300 to replace the screen. A new phone was $400. So I was like, well, if I'm going to replace the screen, I might as well get a brand new phone. And that's what I did. So I paid $400, and then I got the protection because I'm still here with Grim for a little bit more and a case. So my total came out to about $600 for a new phone that was not in my summer budget. So that hurt a little bit, a lot, a bit, and is disappointing. There's nothing I can really do about it other than just move on and save my money.
I feel like that is a hard thing also about being in your 20s and being like financially independent, where it's like you can create a budget, but you're always going to have like random expenses that it's like when you take your car in for service, like you never really know how much money it's going to be, and you kind of like it's not really optional to not have a functional car, unfortunately. So like you kind of got to pay it. In your case, it's not really an option to have an unfunctional phone, so like you kind of just had to pay it. But yeah, I'm sorry, that is unfortunate.
Yeah. So, I mean, not a whole lot to share there other than that was what was making me unwell for most of the week, which I don't it contributed to a little bit, but I think also just our different time zones and schedules. We just like seriously haven't really chatted that much this week together.
No, we haven't. I'm appreciating this little update. I did know about the phone. I also feel like stuff like that is so annoying, just not even just the money cost, but the time cost that you have to deal with it. I hate dealing with stuff like that.
Yeah, because the people at Verizon, I mean, like I'm thankful that they're there, but like it's never easy. Like I was there for an hour and a half. Like
Yeah,
it's just yeah, it takes forever
I don't know why it's so complicated
every
because
time.
every time, yeah, anytime dealing with a phone tech situation.
Yep. So,
So, well, rip the phone.
but now I have a brand new iPhone 17, so
How are you and Grim? Have you made up? Have you forgiven him?
I haven't forgiven him. I am hoping that Grim comes to some money one day and can pay me back. I my dad potentially has a modeling opportunity for Grim at his job. And I'm hoping that it pays. So stay tuned.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like Grim is kind of like ideally suited to become an influencer dog, so you never know.
Yeah, that would work out, and that is my mom's dream, other than the fact that they don't know how to work Instagram. So we're working on it.
Fair. A future
Cool.
money market.
Yep. All right, what's your next wellness check, bud?
Okay, my next one is environmental, which I do apologize that both of my wellness checks are kind of like very practical things this week, but I feel like it's good because I've kind of been a little pie in the sky recently, as I, can be typically. But lately, I have felt like my environmental wellness check. Adulthood is cleaning your house over and over again until you die. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm home more because it's summer and I was traveling. I think really it's the traveling because I haven't had a day before today to just like really put everything away. But I have never wanted to feel like that because I have seen, like always cleaning your house kind of like take over a person's life. But I also feel so much more like relaxed and like my head is on straight when everything is clean around me. And I am not a naturally neat, organized person. It takes work. I value it, and so I do the work. But like I have some friends who just like are organized as they go. Like they can get ready for a night out and they leave and their bathroom is clean. That is a foreign concept to me. Like if I'm leaving for a night out, my bathroom is a war zone until I get up the next morning and I clean it. So I think, I don't know, maybe I'm just like looking for tips and tricks on, the practical adult life situations, but I feel like also the things that really get me are cleaning out the dishwasher and putting away clean clothes because it's like I have just cleaned everything. Like I have gotten all the dirty away and now I still have to like put away the clean things. Anyways, so that's where I'm at.
Thank you for sharing. You know me, and everyone listening to this knows me that I'm like just not a neat person to begin with. I'm not dirty. I'm messy. That's what I like to say. I don't leave like food around. I don't leave like gross things around, but I
Right.
don't put anything away. It's just like how I live my life. I would love to be an organized person. Um, it just like is never a priority to me, and so I have zero advice for you.
Well, here's my question though. Like because I'm not either. Like in my heart of hearts, like I am not a neat person, but like when your space is cluttered, does that like affect your mental state?
Like maybe, probably. Like I don't know. I think if I feel better when it's done, but I don't necessarily think like the clutter is affecting me tremendously.
And to say it's affecting me tremendously is maybe dramatic, but no, yeah, I'm like, I'm not a naturally clean person, but at the same time, I don't function well when everything is a mess. I would like for things to be put together. It's funny because this is like unrelated but related. My friends and I this weekend were talking about, I don't know why we were talking about astrological signs. We are not astrological girlies, but I was saying that I'm a Virgo and I was like, "Oh, I don't know, like, Virgos, I feel like the thing with Virgos is that everyone says they're type A and like I just don't know if that's me." And my friend who has known me since I was literally 5 years old looked at me and she goes, "Teresa, like what are you talking about?" And I honestly was really honored. I was like, "I don't think of myself as type A, but maybe I am." I always see those memes that are like when you're type A plus or you're type C, where it's like you're disorganized but not. I don't know. Maybe that's me.
Yeah, I'm definitely not type A. I think I'm type A
But
in
you're type A in like a schedule, like in your professional life, like you have your ish together.
yeah,
Like
yep.
I would
But
say that.
in my personal life, no, not at all.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say you're like, I don't know. There are type I feel like you meet a type B person and you're like, "Oh, I'm not type B."
Yeah. Yeah.
So we strike a balance. I also feel like as a teacher, you have to be a little like you cannot be a completely type B teacher or you will just
No,
be bad at your job. Like, I'm sorry.
it
That's the
takes
truth.
yeah. Yeah.
So, well, anyways, what's your final wellness check?
My finance wellness check isn't like super interesting. It's environmental, physical, maybe emotional, like all combined into one. Since I've been on this like 2, 3 week-ish journey here living with my parents, I've really succumbed to their routines. They go to bed quite early,
Yep.
because Grim, the dog, goes to bed quite early. So I go to bed quite early as well because there's, not really a whole lot going on. And now like 9:15 rolls around and I like cannot keep my eyes open, which is crazy because that's 8:15 Omaha time. And it's even crazier because I'm really not doing a whole lot during the day. Where if I think about like my typical day is like I'm wrangling some middle schoolers and I'm starting at like 7 a.m. till like 4 p.m. and I go to bed at like 10:30 or 11. Like I think I'm just in a state of like fight or flight where now like maybe I'm just not. And like I have to be at work when I have to work at in the summer at 9 a.m. and like that has been a struggle to get there at 9 a.m. Even though I go to bed at like 9:15, like I've been getting like 10 hours of sleep a night, which is amazing, but I just don't know how like during the year I'm just like I'm running on straight adrenaline, I think. Like insanity.
I I know we talked a lot about sleep last week as well, but I think that we don't people don't realize like how deeply in sleep debt they are. And I think we don't realize how deeply in sleep debt we are as teachers until the summer. Like I agree with you. My sleep schedule, it's a little bit better now than it was really messed up for a while, but like I went to a 10 a.m. workout class last week and I was fighting for my life getting to this class. Um, but I'm glad that you're getting more sleep though. I also feel like the fact, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. No, that was backwards. I was going to say the fact that you're going to bed earlier makes sense because of the time zone, but it actually doesn't. It's backwards. So ignore that line of thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, there's really no rhyme or reason to it, but
Do you feel better? Like, do you feel better?
no, I feel like exhausted.
Yeah, that's also a problem. I feel like sometimes, especially waking up later, like you just don't feel good. Like if I wake up after 9 a.m., I don't feel good.
Shoot, is that gonna be an issue for our summer travels?
No, because I when I say wake up, I mean like open my eyes. I'll lay in bed for
Yeah, I'm a
like,
big layer.
yeah, a while. I just need to have like I've been this week I've been setting an alarm for 8 a.m. um every morning just to
Beautiful.
like get eyes open. And like this morning I don't think I got out of bed until 9:30, but just something so I don't waste away, I guess.
You know, it is what it is. But yeah, that's my little wellness check.
Well, that was a good wellness check considering that we are both like
Doing
in the part of summer where we feel like we're not doing anything in the best way possible.
in the best way possible.
All right, should we get into hyperfixations?
Hyperfixations. Yeah. What are you hyperfixated on? Oh, I gotta set my timer.
Set the timer.
Okay.
I might actually go under 30 seconds for
I
this one.
might too. Mine isn't super. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Go.
Okay, so I like her whole album, but my true hyperfixation this week is the song Maggots for Brains by Olivia Rodrigo. I
Amazing.
cannot stop listening to it. I think the sound is amazing. It's like a true pop song, but I also love it's like so weird. The concept is, again, in the best way possible. And I'm claiming it as the single girl anthem of the summer because it's like the anti being stuck in a bad relationship song. So that's my hyperfixation. Go listen if you haven't.
That was perfect. My response to that is I'm very having or disappointed slash having a hard time with I don't have my car where we're at my parents' house right now. And where I work, I just walk and it doesn't even take me one song to walk to work. So I'm very behind on like my podcasts and songs. So I haven't really given Olivia Rodrigo's album really like the time to like listen to. We will definitely listen to it on our brief part of our road trip. But it's something I need to involve myself in. So I can't say I know that song, which is disappointing.
That is, again, I think it's a good album. I don't know how it necessarily ranks against the other ones, but I think that might be like one of her top 5 songs for me ever. So,
Amazing.
yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Go.
Okay, this is gonna sound really weird, but I like love like a post tan like glow, but I don't want to like fake tan in the summer because I'm also tanning. And so I discovered via an influencer the Vaseline Golden Hour Glow. It's basically like a lotion with like a little shimmer in it. You put it on like after you shower, after you like go tan or pool, and you just like look amazing. I've also recently been putting it on and then spraying myself with setting spray so it
Oh,
does not move. Let me tell you,
okay, that's your timer.
amazing.
I, the setting spray is sending me. I love that because I feel like tanning these days, this is going to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever said, but tanning these days is a full time job because
Full time.
I don't love the way that a fake tan looks on me. I feel like a natural tan always looks better because it's like actually your skin tone. I also, as I've told my mom many times, like some people are very pale because they have the features of a pale person. Like they have blue eyes, whatever, it looks pretty on them. When I am pale, I look like sick. Like I look like a sick, ill Victorian child who's been
Mm,
locked away in a basement for years. Like I am meant to be tan. So I've been trying, but I might have to try this because I
you
don't
should.
know.
I'll send it to you.
I need a little boost.
Great. Well, what are you taking with you this week?
When I'm reminding myself, I don't really know the best way to phrase this, but like I think your time is valuable. I think a lot of times we think of value in terms of like just money. I think there are other things in your life that are valuable, time being one of those. So like I don't know, I was just thinking about this with like the clothing thing and some other things we've talked about where it's like unfortunately sometimes you do just have to like spend some money on something and walk away. Obviously if you're blessed enough to be in the scenario where you can do that, but I feel like it's such a there's such a pressure in your 20s where it's like you need to be saving and investing and all this and that is
Mhm.
very very important, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I'm like, you know what, me agonizing over this, me my time is also valuable. So that's my takeaway this week.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Thank you. What are you taking with you this week?
Mine is also in some ways related to that. Mine that I'm taking with me and reminding myself this week is that having like a really good close knit group of friends, like quantity over quality, is like really important with friends. And I'm so blessed to have really good close friends. I feel like have been having to remind myself. I see like on Instagram and all these things, like all these people that I went to like high school or middle school with or college, like that I literally haven't talked to in years, get married and do all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, like I wonder if I, like would have stayed close to them. Would I have gone to their wedding? Like all this stuff. And I think I just have to remind myself like we're not close for a reason. And like I do have really close people, and that's really important. And that's also okay. And being like confident that like you have good people around you.
I love that. I feel like, yeah, this is the era, even though, I mean, I am not close to getting married anytime soon, but I feel like naturally this is just the era where you start thinking about like your bridesmaids. And I feel like when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, they're my friends because I feel like I really haven't kept in touch with the casual acquaintances of high school or college, which is okay. Like you said,
Mhm.
quantity over quality or quality over quantity. Sorry.
Yeah. So, and I'm just like so excited for our trip.
We get some good buddy time. The content on the podcast will be immaculate.
Immaculate.
Immaculate. Also, appreciation to all of the people who are still listening to this because I feel like I think I told you this before we started recording. We have supporters. They're not all necessarily listening to
Listeners.
every episode, but they are supporting what we're doing.
They're
And
supporting what we're doing. And I think once we're together and once we do a little bit more self promotion, we'll really get this going.
yeah. So I'm excited. This is a good like exploratory phase for us, I
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for listening. Hydrate, text your friends back, and we'll see you next Friday.
Bye.